What's going on, y'all? Grind and Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And now we have the No Jumper crew's reaction to DJ Akademiks calling them crackheads, basically saying that they weren't bosses, they was losers, all that kind of stuff. You know, throwing sneak shots at Adam 22, but not really throwing shots because he's scared of him for some reason, because you know he's a little coon and all that. But you know what I'm looking forward to out of this? Saint the Sinner's supposed to be doing a Adam 22 roast session tonight. I look forward to hearing what does he have to say. Because Saint the Sinner, while you know he may be a little lame and arrogant at some points, he has some good roasts. It's very entertaining. I'm definitely going to chime in off of that. But let's see what these guys have to say. Are they hit and hurt? I mean, out of these three folks right here, AD and Adam are on there, and there's a few other lame-os on there. Sharp is not on there. But hey, I just had to go in and pick, a picture of the crew. Let's go.
Akademiks was just watching this on stream and was basically like arguing the point that No Jumper has just like a ton of random podcasts and that I be giving podcasts to random crackheads. So let's just like run through run through each podcast on the channel at this moment in time. So the main ones, of course, you have the Adam interviews, and then you also have T-Rail and Flacco doing interviews on the channel as well.
I do interviews.
And Duno, and yeah, and just
Lush.
Lush
I do
doing
Almighty
some
too.
Right, everybody, a lot of people
Gina.
doing some here and there, yeah.
Gina.
But and then you have the No Jumper Show, which I feel like is a pretty respectable podcast that has a sizable viewership. I think it would be fair to say. And then you have At the End of the Day, which is pretty much about the same views on the average week, I would say. And then you have the Sharp Tank, which honestly might actually be number one in terms of like average.
And I understand why. Sharp is by far the most entertaining person y'all got out the little crew. He's talking to ladies. People want to see like a man talk to ladies. He actually seems kind of cool, even though he is a P and all that kind of stuff. You can take that however you want. Yeah, but Sharp is, probably the only person on No Jumper that I look forward to watching too, or that I'm willing to watch, really. Because the rest of the guys are just like weirdos. They, I misunderstood. They're those kind of guys. I misunderstood, so I do the dance. Like, what's that boy, Juice WRLD? They, not to disrespect the dead and nothing like that, but they're guys like that. I misunderstood, so I do the drugs. Like, they're like that, and it's like, bro, I don't really want to hear you talk. I don't know who Lush is. I don't really know who Almighty Suspect is. I don't know who AD is. I don't know who none of these guys. I didn't really know who Sharp is, but he's entertaining. So I look forward to watching him. He's like the only reason I even check in No Jumper. And then I guess now, because, this little beef they got going on and drama they got going on. So I'm covering it. Let's go.
Views per episode. I mean, when you take into consideration all the viral episodes that Sharp has had that have millions and millions of views, I mean, clearly Sharp is not a crackhead, even metaphorically. Sharp's doing numbers. And then you have Disconnected, which averages probably around 100K every single week. So not as big as some of the other ones, but I feel like definitely has a solid fan base, and the people fuck with Disconnected in its own right.
And then there's the Monday Show.
And then you got the Monday Show, and I feel like the Monday Show, obviously that's the one that has gone through the most modifications in recent memory.
Facts. But the past few weeks come into its own, and you feel me, got a solidified cast, and is on the way up.
I feel like, and then you have the news streams as well. You have the vlogs. I mean, there's a lot of content going up on the stream. That's not even the same thing with Sledge Lords or the Clips channel or everything else that we have going on. I mean, I don't know. You could definitely look at No Jumper and be like, oh, some of the shows are more popular than other shows, and some of them are not as popular, whatever. But we still, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are considered like big, successful podcasts that get 100,000 views every week on YouTube, right? So, we have pods that are doing way more than that.
You can tell this hit Adam just a little bit, even though, it doesn't affect his bottom line, it doesn't stop his money and nothing, it doesn't stop his flow, because, people are still supporting him, even though he's a culture vulture. You can tell it hit him a little bit. I could definitely feel that. You started something, and somebody's basically down in it saying, like, the crew of folks that you trust your little business with is crackheads and all that kind of stuff, and you doing this and you doing that. He kind of going at you in like a roundabout way. So he is kind of disrespecting Adam, but not just directly like he should have been disrespecting him. He's still scared of him, but I can understand why Adam might be hit a little bit. Let's go.
Well, also, the No Jumper approach to podcasting is becoming like its own network, which features a plethora of different talent and different voices. It's not something like Vlad or Akademiks where it's primarily one person's voice juxtaposed with, you know, whoever they're interviewing or whatever the topic is of the moment. So it's a very different approach. I can understand how if you're not a regular viewer, you might see No Jumper and be like, who are these motherfuckers? But everybody that's on this platform was hand selected very methodically and has a whole repertoire that predates any of our affiliation with No Jumper. There's nobody on No Jumper that got made as far as in the world of hip hop by No Jumper. Now it did give a lot of us second lives. It did, you feel me, put a battery in a lot of our backs. It did provide new opportunities and help a lot of us reach new plateaus. But there's not a single person that's on here that didn't have a valid voice in the culture in one way or another in hip hop.
So that was actually a solid answer back by Lush. You can tell like he's a little hit. And when I say I don't know Lush, I didn't know him before No Jumper. I didn't know who the hell he was. I found out a little backstory on him, you know, due to the different conversations they've been having on No Jumper and stuff like that, or different things people have been saying on other videos that they review of these guys. But I think that he used to be on drugs real bad or something like that. So I guess this does kind of hit him a little bit. I mean, his answer was definitely was solid though. You know, DJ Akademiks is coming at them crazy, talking about crackheads and all this and losers and non-bosses, and you know, he was real smooth with it. I never really liked when folks be defending Adam, but I guess I can understand when, like he said, somebody gave him a second life, even though he was somebody before at some point with a voice in the culture, I guess. So, you know, because we just be letting anybody in, but yeah. You know, I can understand why he would be defending Adam and caring about Adam, because Adam has given him a second life, given him a job and all that kind of stuff. These other little jokers, they suckers, but I think Lush is okay. Everybody seem to like Lush based off the comments I'll be watching. They be like, man, Lush is a good guy. He knows how to interview and stuff like that. But then other time they be saying he sound lame. But yeah, let's go.
And
Prior
it's the only
to No Jumper.
And it's the only network where somebody besides the owner is on camera damn near more than the owner. They can't tell us nothing.
And I've been thinking about this a lot, honestly, like just with the whole end of the year and shit, is that I just feel really lucky that we still, like, after all these fucking years, still have so many people watching the podcast. And I was thinking about that when I was looking at the views on the old episodes, is that we used to do this shit and get 50,000 views or whatever, like 30,000 views when we first started and shit. And it was whatever. I was like, you know, that's not crazy, but
It didn't matter.
We're going to keep it going, just see what fucking happens. And, like, you know, I started doing it because of the Joe Budden podcast. And, you know, I'm not going to compare views, but I think that in comparison, we're doing pretty good too. Like, you know, they're still doing numbers and everything. But, I mean, I'm not sitting around comparing myself to other people or whatever. Like, I don't really, like, think about it like that anyway. And even the worst podcasts on here, view-wise, it's still, like, if you're constantly, like, for me, honestly, the thing I feel bad about is just that we're not trying out more people. I want to take my fucking weekly schedule and put more hours into doing streaming content. We're trying out people for the first time and putting more people on camera, if anything. And and if you're putting more people on camera, you're kind of like expecting that you're going to do lower numbers to start, right? That's just kind of like expected. And that you have
And
to do what you
everybody
can.
not going to stick.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't work with the person that's next to them. Like, they could do low views one day and then the next week be with a whole different dynamic of people on camera, and they could fucking explode.
Yeah, we're high up on a lot of people's lists because of the fact that we just try mad shit.
The
and that
cream
some
will
of it
rise to
works,
the top.
you know? Yeah.
So while I do think the No Jumper podcast was a little hit by the things DJ Akademiks said, they were very cool, calm, and collected with their response. They could have went at DJ Akademiks really hard. Y'all know how I be talking about DJ Akademiks, because he's lame. He's fat. He's insecure. He wears that hat all the time because he's losing his hair. He wears that hoodie and all that sloppy kind of clothes because he's trying to cover up his fatness. He ain't trying to get in the gym. He's not trying to improve on himself. He's always drunk. He's always ranting and raving against people that he finds weaker than him. So they could have easily said all that, but, you know, they didn't. I will say that No Jumper has a little bit of something for everybody. That's the only thing that kind of keeps me watching them. They have stuff like the Sharp Tank, and every now and again they have people that I would like to hear what they got to say, what they talking about, you know? So out of the two that are, you know, who has the better content between DJ Akademiks and No Jumper, I'll say No Jumper has it. Because DJ Akademiks, like I say, he's always just ranting and raving and being drunk. You know, he sometimes has little interviews with people, but it's, you know, very few and far between. Adam 22, not because of him, but because of all the different people he has that can attack very many areas, I will say is better because they just have something for everybody. Adam 22 is just a culture vulture. He's got all these guys that are able to, you know, show him the way. Then, you know, they're able to show him through the way on a Black American culture, allow him to go ahead and, you know, maneuver around. So I will say that he's better. Who do you guys think is better out of the two? Also, they said Flacco done got fired. Flacco hasn't officially been fired, but he's basically off the show, bro. He ain't on none of the things. Adam 22 basically took him off of everything because he talked to Saint in the center and all that kind of stuff. I'm definitely gonna make a skit about that. What's Flacco doing after no jumper? But I think Flacco needs to go ahead and, you know, just figure his own thing out anyway, man. He should be out there trying to figure out what he's gonna do for himself. I think going to no jumper did give him a little boost that he might have needed to get his name in the limelight. But hey, man, go figure it out for yourself. Flacco needs to take this time to be doing his own content. At the same time, while he's still pushing out content, he needs severe speech classes. Severe speech classes. Nothing short of severe speech classes, because he has a terrible speech impediment. Listening to this guy try to form a sentence makes him unbearable. Although he's entertaining because he's a specimen like DJ Akademiks, that's not the reason you want to be entertaining. You need to work on your social skills, Flacco, also. Yeah, and you need to definitely lose weight. You and DJ Akademiks do slick have the same issues. They also said you stink on No Jumper. The No Jumper crew basically threw you under the bus. They don't like you anyway, bro. They said you stink. They say you're weird. They say you're from North Dakota. They say you don't get no girls, all that, bro. You're fat. So, I mean, yeah, bro, it's time for you to go and branch out on your own and improve yourself anyway. You need to improve yourself within, not just improving your own content and stuff. Also, like I said, man, Saint the Center is supposed to be doing a little Adam 22 roast, because Adam 22 did slick roast Saint the Center. So, well, not really roasting, but he talked badly about him. So, we're going to see what Saint the Center has to say. We'll see what we can get up out of that. As far as who you guys think is the better podcast, go ahead and, you know, comment that down below. Like I said, no jumper for me, just because they have a little bit of everything for everybody. And I guess, you know, they're much more entertaining. If you watch up to this point, thanks for watching as usual. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.